Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Okay. So let's start. Okay. So what I was saying is that today we will discuss this. So is the screen visible? No? Can you see the screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See that fill in the blanks like this type of questions. It is going to come in a exam. Okay. Test. 20 marks. So let me explain you that all those. See, an act of using essential features without including background detail is called data abstraction. Is called data abstraction. So now, actually, what is data abstraction? If you want to explain somebody, some of our friends and all, how can we explain? Is that so? As we all know that we open so many app, okay, we download, we installed, we install and we start playing those app or playing those games and all, okay. So now, but the thing is that, so do we bothered its background detail? Do we always notice all what is happening at the background of that app? We are least bothered. We just use the app, we download that app, and then we know the rules and regulation, and then playing we start playing the games and all. We start doing the work without knowing its background detail. So that is known as data abstraction. For example, we are downloading C++, Java, Bluejay. We are doing the coding, we are executing. But who has made that? How it has been developed? Okay, we are least bothered. We are yes. Okay, so that is known as data abstraction. So the question may come, define data abstraction, or they will give you the definition and you have to tell me the term. An act of using essential feature without including its background details is known as or is called as data
Sir,
abstraction. Yes.
so we have to write its definitions in our notebook.
Yes. Afterwards you can copy, okay? You can copy. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm doing the recording also and I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, what is the syllabus for exam?
Yes. I told you this chapter, chapter 1 and chapter 2.
Okay, sir.
Okay, chapter 1 and chapter 2 of your book, and whatever this questions I'm explaining you all the programs that we have done, okay, all those things you practice, okay. 20
Okay, sir.
marks, yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So number 2, in an object oriented programming the stress is given on data. So means there are two types of programming, okay. There are two types of programming. So number 1 is known as procedural programming language, and the second one is known as the object oriented programming language, okay. So as I had explained you also that in procedural more stress is given on function, whereas in object oriented programming more stress is given on data, okay. And in procedural there is no concept of security. Randomly everyone can access your coding and all. Everyone can access, they move here, the variables and function, they move here and there. But in object oriented programming there is a concept of access specifier, that is public. If you want your coding to be accessed by all, we write down public. If you want to make it unaccessible by others, So you have to make that class as private and protected. So in object oriented programming, remember, the question may come, the more stress is given on data or function. Suppose in true or false also the question may come like that. So you have to remember that more stress is given on data in object oriented programming, whereas in procedural programming language more stress is given on function. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the third one, yeah, the third one, wrapping up of data and function together as a single unit is called encapsulation. So encapsulation means, suppose we write down the program, no, that class, then class name, and inside that class name we write down the variables, the functions. So all those variables and function, they do their work within themselves. Whatever they want to do between them, they can do whatever else, but all those works are being done within this, within that class only, given class. So that can't be go outside, or that can't be accessed by other. So that process is known as encapsulation. Means the wrapping up of variables is known as data out here. The wrapping up of data means the variable and function within a single unit of class is known as encapsulation. Yes, so as you have seen that plastic coated capsule, so think that plastic coated capsule is your class, and inside that whatever the powder is present, the powder structure, powder like structure. So think that a powder like structure is known as your data and function. So when we move here and there, they but they lie within the class only, they lie within that boundary only, plastic coated, they can't come outside until and unless we open that cap or we cut it down. Okay, so that is known as encapsulation. Number 4, an dash has unique identity through which it may differ with some characteristics and behavior. So remember in short that object has unique identity. Okay, that means it has certain properties, and that properties are known as characteristics and behavior. Remember, object has two properties, one is known as the characteristics and the another one is known as the behavior. Okay. Number 5, the object may communicate with each other through function. Okay, the object may communicate with each other through function. You should know this. And see, question number 6, in POP. So the full form of POP is procedural programming language. Okay, procedural object programming language. Okay, or you can simply say procedural programming language. Procedural programming language, as I said, that there are two types of programming, one is object oriented and the another one is procedural programming language. So in procedural, the global data are loosely, they are loosely attached to the function. They are loosely attached to the function. So loosely attached means, as I said, that in procedural the data and function they move freely here and there. So that is known as out here that global data are loosely attached to the function. Okay, they are loosely attached. There is no any hard and fast rule that whatever the variable you have declared, that can't be used by other in the same program. In procedural, anyone can access, but in object oriented, if the coding has been made private, so inside within the class also the other person can't access that specific code. So that's why remember, in procedural the data are loosely attached to the function. Question number 7, inheritance. What do you mean by inheritance? So inheritance means, suppose you are one class where you have done the program to add two numbers. Okay, you are the you are one class who have done one coding in Java to add two numbers and now if I want to add three numbers, suppose, okay, if I want to add three numbers, so suppose the input instead of giving the input of two numbers, I can just give only one numbers, and I can inherit the properties of years whichever you have done the coding. If I want that same coding and in that I want to add some extra, so instead of writing that years coding again and again, I can just inherit, I can just access the coding or the values or the input from your class. This concept is known as inheritance. So in one term we call it as reusability. Reusability, reusability, reusability. Clear? Inheritance. And question number 8, yes, and the last question number 8 one is, in an object oriented programming using a function for more purpose. Okay, so let me explain this. Polymorphism means, in short you can say that there are more than two functions same. Suppose one function name is add, okay, you want to add two whole numbers, suppose add within the bracket 2 comma 3, another function add 2 comma 3 comma 4, and another function is add 2.4 comma 8.9. So see out here, listen properly what I'm saying you again, let me say you again, I'm repeating that there are three functions having same name, function name is same, the name of the function is add, but the forms are different, the parameters, the input that we are providing to that function are different. How it is different? In the first function we were adding two whole numbers 2 comma 3, so it can be any other number also, and in the second function if we want to add three whole numbers, so then we can call that second function, and the third function was if we want to add two decimal numbers, if we want to add two decimal numbers, we can add we can call using that third function. So the conclusion out here is that one function name having multiple forms. In one program, in one class, we are having three functions, means having same function name, but the parameters are different. So that is known as the form out here. So one function name having multiple forms means the parameter, the input that we are passing to the function add. So one function name having multiple forms is known as polymorphism. Is that clear? Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm doing the recording also. Okay. You can see it afterwards. I'll send it to you. So let me stop.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me stop this.